Greetings, and thank you very much for inviting me to participate in this year's Human Rights and Religious Freedom Journalism Awards. My name is Gypsy Guillen Kaiser, and I am the Advocacy and Communications Director at the Committee to Protect Journalists. We are a nonprofit organization that promotes press freedom worldwide. We defend the rights of journalists to report the news safely and without fear of reprisal. I am truly honored to have the opportunity to speak with all of you today about the threats facing journalists in India and to commend their immense bravery in continuing to bring to light critical information through their reporting. This is particularly important in a world filled with crises, with disinformation, and with polarization. As a member of a diaspora community myself, I know that the flow of free and accurate information is vital to keeping our bonds to the homeland and to making decisions across borders, across multiple realities. Your awards are a recognition of the centrality of a critical and free press in that context, in that flow of transnational information. And thus, my organization, the Committee to Protect Journalists, is happy to be here with you. As many of you know all too well, India is an increasingly dangerous place for journalists. For the past 30 years, CPJ has been tracking the imprisonment of journalists around the world. Our annual prison census found that India set a country record last year for the largest number of detained journalists. And the vast majority of the journalists detained in India as of December 1st, 2021, are Muslims. Imprisonment is just one tactic used to suppress independent media in India and elsewhere in the world. Last year, India had the world's highest number of journalists, 5, killed on the job in relation to their work. 4 were murdered, meaning directly targeted. Yet impunity continues to prevail. It must be overcome. I'll give you a case in point. In 2017, the emblematic case of Gauri Lankesh took place. Gauri Lankesh was a journalist who was shot dead outside her home. Her murder prompted outcry both in India and abroad. Police alleged that the killers were members of a criminal syndicate with links to right-wing Hindu organization. But there is yet to be a single conviction in her case. Sadly, the case of Gauri Lankesh is part of a growing trend of attacks against religious minorities and women journalists in India, many of whom have been acutely affected by the recent surge in online abuse against media workers. This surge is unfortunately not unique to India, but the targeting of Muslim journalists there is undeniable. Late last year, young female journalists whose work has also been spotlighted by the IAMC were among the more than 100 women listed as being for sale on the notorious app Bully Buy. At least 20 of those women were female Muslim journalists. Most are in their 20s, new to the profession, and have faced backlash on social media. Besides having gender and religion in common, all have reported critically on how the Indian government's policies have impacted religious minorities. This is a serious matter. These worrying trends make events like this one that you are hosting today all the more important to uplift and celebrate the invaluable work of Indian journalists and to remind us of the responsibility we all share in working to keep them safe. I want to extend a huge thank you to the Indian American Muslim Council for inviting the Committee to Protect Journalists to participate in this awards ceremony, and our immense gratitude to the journalists being honored today for the vital work that they do. Thank you.